Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. Say, did you know that alcohol can affect your short term memory? Imagine what alcohol could do. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Moon Colony Bloodbath from Rio Grande Games. In Moon Colony Bloodbath from Rio Grande Games, 1 to 5 players take on the roles of the leaders of moon colonies. That's right, man has gone to the moon. They've built up colonies, but there's going to be all sorts of problems. Now, this is an engine building game. You're going to set up some various card decks around the board, and each player is going to have their own player board, which are more or less identical. You're also going to get some perk cards. Each player will take 30 population tokens and put it on their board. They're going to put 4 money and 4 food on their board as well. You're going to draw 4 building cards. But what you're going to do is have a starter deck. Now, this starter deck is going to consist of 4 work cards, 2 twist cards, and 2 trouble cards. Now, the game is very simple. You have that deck of 8 starter cards. You simply draw the top card and reveal it. And then everybody is going to react to what that card is. Now, as I mentioned, you have in that deck of 8 starter cards initially, you have 4 work cards. You're going to have 4 tokens to track from round to round how many work cards have been played every round. But the work cards are important because they let you do different things. You can mine, meaning you'll get money. If you have other buildings that you control, you will get more money and perhaps other perks there as well. You can farm, so you can get some food, but also, again, if you have some farms out there, you can have food. You can research, meaning you can draw a couple of building cards. You have got kind of restock, meaning you can get some restock tokens out there. More on that later. And then also you've got build, meaning if you've got the money to pay for it, you could build one of these buildings that you're going to create in a card tableau. This is an engine building game. These different cards that go out will give you kind of long-term abilities, most of them will, and some of them will also give you kind of a short-term ability. For instance, some will allow you to take one of your perk cards and put it in that starter deck, put it on top of the starter deck. And whenever that card comes up, you're going to get a perk, but nobody else will. Some of the cards may also tell you to put a specific development card into that starter deck as well. Mix it into that deck, your progress deck as it's called. And then that may have funky things that will happen when that card is played as well. Now, over the course of the game, you're going to have some of these other cards pop up. So the twist cards, and there's a whole bunch of twist cards you're going to mix in too. As I understand it, those are the only 2 that'll be in the game. I didn't see any other cards that brought in more twists. I could be mistaken about that. But you got the 2 twist cards in there. And these twist cards will, again, have you do weird and funky things. They may be positive, they may be negative, but they will come up as well. Now, finally, you have the trouble cards. Now, when you draw a trouble card, you will add an event to the deck. And the events are not good. The events are accidents, they are tempers flaring up, and the population fighting amongst themselves. There's all sorts of icky things that will happen when these events come. But critically, when events play out, you are going to lose some of your population. More on that later. Some cards will actually add in robots. Usually these robots are going to cause problems as well, and again, they will cause you to lose population. Now, once you get to the end of all of the cards played, they're not there, you simply take them and you shuffle them, and then you play them again. So all of these bad cards that are being added to this deck are making the deck bigger. Some are not so bad, some are absolutely terrifying. But this deck is getting bigger, and you're playing through every card every single time. So you kind of get an idea of what's coming up after a while and what you got to prepare for. But now, as I say, you're also building a tableau of buildings. Now, critically, as I say, you have the population tokens on your player mat, but each building also has a population printed on it. So what you're doing is you have to spend population when some of these negative cards come up. You have to take your population tokens and just spend them, get rid of them. But then as these other cards come up, as I say, they may do other funky things. They may give you kind of weird choices. Maybe you've got to feed these guys. Now, as I mentioned too, you've got the restock action, and you're putting cubes, or not cubes, but rather cardboard tokens, boxes on your various buildings. And depending on what different cards you have, they will allow you to do certain things. Sometimes they can be spent as a resource, as a currency as well. Now, if you ever run out of population tokens on your player board, you have to eliminate one of your buildings. Now, if you've got 3 markers and you've got to lose 5, you would pay the 3, but then you've got a balance of 2. So you look at all of your buildings. If I have a building with a 6 population, I can spend that to cover the 2, and then I actually get 4 population markers back from my player board. But critically, I'm missing that building and all the goodies that building gave me. So basically, that's how you play the game. You are just simply revealing these cards, you are adding cards to these decks and then playing them. You are trying to build up your tableau of your moon colony. You are, of course, getting money that you've got to spend. You're farming for food. Sometimes you got to feed your people. You've got little the boxes for the restock that you're putting on your cards to give you special abilities as well, playing off of some of the cards. And then critically, the cards are starting to kill your population, and you've got to get rid of your population markers. Then you got to get rid of your buildings, and it becomes a bloodbath. Now, as soon as a player has no more population to give, either tokens or buildings, the game immediately ends. If they are required to spend some and there's no more left, the game ends. The remaining players look and see who has the most population, and whoever has the most population wins. Moon Colony Bloodbath. We'll get back to the review in just a moment. I want to take a minute to ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about history, books on history, military history. I even post some of my lectures for my classes on there. Please check that out. Please subscribe to that channel. And now, back to the review. Moon Colony Bloodbath. So I got to tell you, it's got this kind of funny 1950s, 1960s aesthetic to it, which is kind of charming and endearing. I enjoy generally the artwork and the presentation here. I actually reached out to Rio Grande Games because I'd heard good things about this, but just looking at it, I didn't know what to expect, and frankly, I wasn't expecting that much. I thought I'd probably like the game. I thought I'd like the game. And we started playing the game, and very quickly, I like engine builders, and so I like that idea of making your engine hum, and you're getting more resources and money, and food and whatnot, and the different card abilities on these buildings. Some of them are very, very fun and very powerful, and I'm really enjoying that. I'm really having a lot of fun with that. But also, too, as the game progresses and those work cards are coming up fewer and fewer, so you got fewer chances to do work and to build and to mine and to do these things, you're kind of getting a little antsy. And then as these other event cards and robots are being mixed into the deck and they're coming in and they're wreaking havoc, I got to tell you, this is a game we were all enjoying. And then about halfway through the game, it kind of becomes a different game. And it becomes absolutely hilarious. You've got these terrible choices you've got to make. And it's funny because, the artwork and the theme here is really coming through. And you've got these really, really tough choices. Okay, I got to lose a building. Which building do I want to lose? Or I got to lose cards from my hand, or I got to pay food to feed people and stuff. It's incredibly funny, and it's done so well. We were laughing our butts off at this game. We were having so much fun with it, and I got to tell you, it's just fantastic. Really, I got to tell you, this is probably one of my favorite games of the year. It'll probably be in my top 10 list, maybe even top 5. It was so much fun, and I was not expecting that from this game. I was expecting, like I say, to probably like it, and I ended up loving it. I love it too because it's quick. It is not a long game. You know, it's about an hour, maybe less. It's everything is pretty simultaneous. Once in a while, there's a little AP, and you got to wait for somebody, but everything is pretty much done simultaneously. And the tough choices combined with the theme and the humor and the quickness of the game, it's one of those games that when it's over, you're like, oh, I wanted to keep going, you know, and but it's just so much fun. It's fun to build the engines. It's fun to see them just absolutely destroyed. Uh, Really a great game. Like I said, I wasn't expecting it, and I absolutely fell in love with Moon Colony Bloodbath. It's a game that the name is correct. Bloodbath is correct because you feel it. When you lose that population and you got to tear down your buildings to pay for it, you feel it. I love the perks that get mixed in. I love when the development. Well, I don't love the developments, but that's fun when they come out. And just seeing all these different cards and just everything hitting the fan and just getting worse and worse. It's just a delight. I'm rambling because I don't know what else I can tell you. Get this game. You know, on one hand, I will say it almost feels like a party game, but it's not a party game. It is a card game. It is an engine builder. It's a tableau game, but it's got almost a party theme, a party feel in the way the theme comes through and the fun you're having and the laughing you're having. Love this game. Love this game. Again, I'm rambling. So, friends, on the Cody scale, I was talking with Ray, who absolutely loved it. We all did. Chris loved it too. We all think this is a huge winner. And Ray was telling me, this is a 9. This is a 9. I'm like, well, I don't know if it's a 9. I'm thinking maybe an 8. But the more I've thought about this game since we played it, it's a 9. This is a solid 9. It may go up. I don't know. But I can't say anything else except I love this game. On the Cody scale, I'm giving it a 9. Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we'd ask you to please leave a comment for us here on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our various social media. And we would ask you please to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, if you do like what you see here, I would ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about history, military history, books on history, fun things like that. I even post some of my lectures up there. It would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to that channel as well. And of course, if you do like what you see here, I would humbly ask you to click on the Super Thanks button and leave a tip. You know, I stood on the scale today. It said error, 1 person at a time. Please somebody help me on my feet again. And I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band.
Ray rolls die.
7.
There is no good cards in this game.
+1, +1.